Hello everyone, this is Coach Justin, and I'm going to take you through the next 4 to 8 weeks of your workout program for everyone involved in South County Volleyball. A couple things before we get started in terms of the workout sheets. At the end of this presentation, those sheets are attached. This presentation will also be uploaded online for you to download and print those sheets off. At the end of the sheets, there's going to be a movement demo for each movement you're going to do throughout the workouts. If you're unsure about a movement, remember you can just skip ahead to that. That part and that day will be in the comment section we have. That first block, I hope everyone enjoyed it and learned some new skills. For this block, it can be done 1 to 2 times. So it is a 4-week block, but it could be doubled up for 8 weeks. It's 4 days a week, 3 days of circuit training, 1 day of speed development work. This video is going to go through a couple warm-up options. It's going to describe each workout, answer some questions you may have, and explain that agility and speed development sheets attached at the end. If you are watching this video again, you can always check in the comment section to skip ahead to where you need to be. When we take a look at a couple warm-up options we do have, option 1, if you have limited space, you're going to go 30 seconds of high knees, 30 seconds of butt kicks, 30 seconds of jumping jacks, and 30 seconds of burpees. You'll follow this with 10 toe touch reps, 5 cobra to downward dogs, 20 total shoulder taps, 5 inchworms, and 5 lunges with an overhead reach. Option 2, if you have a little bit more space, you may want to use that legend down there to see if each of the movements are there and back, or just there, or just back. So this open space, you need about a 20-yard block. You're going to jog there and back, side shuffle there and back, do karaoke's there and back, high knees there and back, and butt kicks there and back. You'll do Frankenstein's just going there, and then sweeps on the way back. When you're done with that, we're going to go 10 arm circles forward, 10 arm circles backward, and 5 inchworms. There may be additional things you may want to do, but this should be enough to get your body just generally warm for the workout you're going to do. Let's take a look at the workout you have for day 1. First, we're going to start with movements that are done in succession, and then we're going to take a minute to minute and a half rest following that. So it's going to be a negative squat, followed by squat hold, followed by squat jumps for us how many seconds or reps according to the sheet and the workout that day. And then we're going to take that minute rest and repeat it for how many sets. Circuit 2, we're going to go a new movement every minute. So minute 1, vertical jumps, minute 2, hamstring walkouts, minute 3, towel squats, and you're going to rotate through that as many sets as you need to do. Circuit 3, same idea, new movement every minute. Minute 1, broad jumps. Minute 2, PVC good mornings. Minute 3, a bent over towel row. For the core, we're going to go with sit-ups. What we're going to do is every minute on the minute, you're going to complete as many reps as required. Whatever rest you have left in that minute is your rest, and at the top of the minute, complete another set for as many sets as it requires. When we take a look at day 2 of our week, same idea as day 1. We start with movements done in succession, followed by a rest. This is going to be a negative push-up, push-up hold, and then a push-up. Circuit 2, rotating through the movements, starting a new movement every minute. We're going to go lunge jumps, towel rows, Cossack squats. Circuit 3, same thing, new movement every minute. We're going to go single leg RDLs to jump, ATs, Ys, and forward lunges. Taking a look at day 3, so we're going to go a little bit faster on this day in terms of our movements, so we can do the agility at the end. Circuit 1, skaters, followed by towel push-ups. Circuit 2, single leg RDLs, followed by lateral jumps. Circuit 3, shoulder taps, followed by pistols. The main focus on day 3 is to work on our agility. That sheet that was sent out to you originally, there was a mistake on it. Our warm-up should be done in 5 yards blocks, for a total of 20 yards there, 20 yards back. Each week, if we look at the sets and the reps for our warm-up, we're just building up to a longer warm-up. And you don't want to rush through this warm-up. You want to take your time and get ready for the agility work. This warm-up can be done as the warm-up of day 3, so you don't need to do 2 separate warm-ups. When we look at the distances in terms of the yards, you don't need to pull out a measuring tape. What I'm basically looking for is for you to take one big step. As long as you're consistent with your steps, that is fine. If you have any cones or anything like that, you probably want to mark it every 5 yards so you know the distance. If you don't have a lot of cones, you can just do a starting marker and a 20-yard marker. Or if you have no cones at all, you can always use a t-shirt, a shoe, a water bottle, whatever you have available to you. When we take a look at the sheet, the legend at the bottom, there is a lot, all right? But you just want to really pay attention to the starting position, the finish position of your body, and the way I want you to move your body through the agility drills. There's also examples of footwork that I'm looking for. You want to use these diagrams to help with the footwork so you can fully understand it. So let's take a look at the agility drills we're going to be doing over the 4 weeks. Agility 1, it's just a plant and accelerate. I run up, plant that foot. Remember, left leg pushes you to the right, finish with it, acceleration. Agility 2 is a side shuffle and turn. So I'm side shuffling from my right to my left, plant my left leg, open up my right hip, finish with a side shuffle back at a faster pace. Agility 3 is a plant with rotation and accelerate. So I'm going to run up, I'm going to plant with my right leg, open up my left hip, so I do a swivel, and then I finish with a crossover on my right and finish with an acceleration. Agility 4 is a change of direction and accelerate. So we're just starting in one position, leading with a crossover step, and running forward diagonally as fast as we can. All right, so all these acceleration drills are labeled just on one side, but remember, as many reps as you do on one side, you want to do on the other side. When we take a look at our speed development sheet that we have, kind of talking about setting it up, all right, need to mark a start point. If you have 4 cones, you want to put 10 consistent steps, cone at each 10 steps. Remember, if you don't have a cone, you can use shoes, water bottles, or a t-shirt, just something to mark distance. If you have extra cones, you can go 1 cone between each of your other cones. So you would have a cone every 5 yards. The sequence on the sheet is the same for all of our speed developments this 4 weeks. The first 5 yards, we're looking for as many foot contacts as possible for that drill. The next 10 yards, as little foot contacts as possible for those drills. The next 15 yards, you are running as fast as you can, trying to accelerate the entire time. And then the last 10 yards or even further, we're working on slowing down properly. I don't want to sprint 15 yards and stop immediately. I want at least 10 yards for me to slow down. Looking at the first one, flutter kicks to accelerate. Flutter kicks, legs are straight, pushing off the ground with the balls of our feet, and active arms. All right, so we always want active arms. We want to make movement from the shoulder and keep those arms bent at around 90 degrees. You don't want your arms hanging by your side. That's not going to help build speed. Movement 2, walking high knees to accelerate. So we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to work on moving properly and moving slowly. You want to drive your knee up as high as you can into your chest with each step using that active arm. So remember, as my right knee comes up, my left arm comes forward. You want to push back into the ground to help you move forward. We don't want to be reaching forward. If anything, we want a slight lean in this position to help us travel forward. Our high knees to accelerate, so we're building off those walking high knees a little bit faster. We're going to be fast and aggressive here, still working on driving those knees up as high as we can with our active arms. This time we want to push into that ground a little bit more aggressively to push us forward a little bit. So the difference between the walking high knees and this high knees is the walking high knees is really slowing it down, getting used to that pace. This high knees is going a little bit faster and more aggressive. When we look at a skip to accelerate, we want to use the push off of the skip to push us forward. So that all I'm working for is a skip. As you skip, drive that knee up with that active arm and keep your ankle under your knee. You want to push into the ground to help you push forward in this drill. The last one we're going to do is balance to accelerate. So you're jumping off one leg, landing on the other, working on movement forward, moving forward, and being explosive with each movement in this step. This is the most explosive segment in the speed development. So at this point, we should be warm, we should feel a little bouncy, and we're still focusing on aggressive arms. So the end of this presentation has the sheets that you're going to need. Remember, this presentation will also be posted online, so you can download it and print the sheets off if you need to. So once the sheets appear, if you already have them and you're just looking for exercise techniques, you can just skip to the end of this part and we'll get started on the exercise technique for each day. So circuit 1, we're starting with that negative or eccentric squat, nice and slow, controlling that squat all the way down to a parallel position with our feet flat. We hold this position for as long as it says, and then finish with our squat jumps. Squat jumps, we come back to that same depth and drive back up. Vertical jumps, I'm throwing my arms back, hinging from the hips, throwing those arms forward to help me get off the ground. I'm working on control from rep to rep. I'm letting my chest fall with my back straight. Hamstring walkout, hips stay high the entire time. Take little steps out until my legs become almost straight, and then take those little steps back in. Working on controlling through my hamstrings and keeping my glutes nice and tight through this entire movement. My towel squat, what I'm doing is standing on my sweater, arms straight, shoulders back, chest nice and tall. 1 rep is starting from a relaxed position and then pushing into that sweater as much as we can, holding for 2 to 3 seconds, and then repeating this process. As I go into my tension building exercise, I don't want my shoulders to fall forward or let my chest fall forward either. Our chest should be up the entire time with our shoulders back. Broad jump, we're looking for a max distance here with control the entire time. I want to reset each rep, focus on the jumping mechanics, and focus on good landing mechanics. As we can see, you land in that partial squat and reset. My PVC good mornings, they can be done from a kneeling position to get more glute and hamstring activation, or from a standing position. The goal here is to lead with our hips going back, let our chest fall forward, and keep that chest nice and proud, holding onto a PVC or a broomstick or even a hockey stick. Our towel row option here, I'm pulling on the sleeves of my sweater as much as I can, holding for 2 to 3 seconds with my elbows bent at 90 and then resetting. I want to keep my chest nice and tall. As I pull, I don't want to overarch my rib cage and I don't want my shoulders to fall forward. We're working on some control and posture here. So as we go through our push-up sequence, it's going to be a nice slow control through our negative push-up or eccentric push-up. This can also be done from your knees all the way down to the ground. And then we're going to come a hold at a 90-degree position with our elbows bent and then finish with as many push-ups as needed. Lunge jumps, working on those active athletic arms, jumping up in the air, switching mid-air, focusing on that control, and then going in to the next rep. Cossack squats, my feet stay nice and wide the entire time. As I lean into one leg, that foot stays flat and the other toe can come off the ground. Goal here, keep that chest nice and tall, push that hip back and down, not just over the side of the knee. Our other bent over row position, back is straight, knees are slightly bent, hip is at 90 degrees. I'm holding till my elbows come to 90 for a couple seconds and then relaxing those arms. As I get to the hardest part of this pull, when there's most tension on the sleeves, I want to keep that chest nice and tall. I don't want to hunch forward to make it seem like I'm pulling farther into it. Single leg RDL to jump. My left leg goes back, use my left knee to drive forward, jump off my right, and land on my right. The goal here is working on balance in that single leg RDL, and then working on control, jumping off one leg and landing on that one leg. My A's, my back is still nice and straight, pulling my thumbs to my chest, focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. My T's, my palms open up, thumbs towards the ceiling, doing the same thing, and then when I transition to my Y's, my arms are now just going out in front of me, still working on squeezing my back nice and tight. Forward lunge, stepping forward, being aggressive with those arms, and then as I drive back, I want to push off that front foot aggressively. As my knee lightly touches the ground, we can see my front shin is perfectly vertical and my back thigh is vertical. That is what we're looking for in this lunge. Side to side skaters, working on jumping off one foot, landing on the other one, loading that glute and quad, and keep pushing back and forth, not looking for max distance here. My towel push-up, I want to create enough tension into that towel where my elbows are bent at 90 the entire time. I'm looking for a straight line from my heels to my shoulders and just creating as much tension as I can, pushing through that towel and squeezing those shoulder blades together. My single leg RDL, I'm leading by pushing my left foot back and then letting my chest fall. I don't want to lead with that chest and create an arch in my back. The goal here is to engage that glute and hamstring on that stabilizing leg while working on balance and posture the entire time. For my lateral jump, I'm picking a line on the floor and using my vertical jump ability to jump over that line. I'm working from going from one rep right into the next one. Looking straight on, both in the takeoff and the landing, we don't see that my knees come together, and that is the goal of this. For my shoulder taps, I want to go left arm, right arm, left shoulder, preventing my hips from moving side to side. We're working on a good solid tall plank position while also creating stability in single arm movements. My pistols, they can either be done without sitting down onto a chair, trying to get that knee bent at 90 degrees, or they can be done to a chair. We want to work on driving that knee over that toe while staying flat-footed the entire time. This knee over the toe is something common that we see in both a takeoff and a jump and a landing of a jump. If I were to look at you straight on, your knee should go perfectly in line with your foot. We don't want that knee to cave in at all, and if it does, you may want to choose either a higher chair or something higher to sit down, make that control, and go from there. Some final remarks. Within a week, I would recommend going 2 days of work, 1 day of rest, and then complete that one more time to get your 4 workouts in that 1 week. It's important to stretch and recover, especially after a workout, and use that day off as a recovery day. Each week, try to increase that intensity by either jumping further, or if you have access to weights, try to lift something a little bit heavier each week. I hope you enjoy the next 4 to 8 weeks of workouts that have been given to you, and if you have any questions, just send me an email.